Robinhood Trivia, the epic mobile game show where you can answer trivia questions right here on your phone for the chance to claim some serious coin, specifically Bitcoin. Sound good to you? Sounds great to me. Now, would you look at that? There are thousands of players joining live here today. Ooh, how I wish I can see all your beautiful faces. But I can see your answers, so you better make them count. Okay, here's how this is gonna work. I'm gonna ask 12 questions. They start easy at first and get harder as we go along. You will have 10 seconds from when I start reading the question to tap your answer. Now, you may change your answer at any point before the timer hits 0, but once time runs out, your answer is locked in. If you get it right, yay, you're moving on to the next round. And if you make it all the way to the end, double, triple, quadruple yay, because that means you're a big winner, baby. And you'll be sharing in today's grand prize. Now, that grand prize is, are you sitting down? Are you strapped in? Is your helmet on? Are you ready for this? That grand prize is $1 million in BTC. That's Bitcoin, Mom. This can't be real. Give away $1 million in Bitcoin? This is literally insane. Are you serious? This is not a joke? Can I get like one of those Bitcoin? No? And I can't play because I gotta host it. Okay, all right. Before you get too excited, by the way, I should let you know that if you win, you will be splitting this prize with all the other winners. Unless you are the only winner, then you will get all of that coin, that Bitcoin. It's $1 million in Bitcoin. That's crazy. But hey, even if you get bounced out of the game early, make sure you stick around to the end because I have more to share with you, and it's news you can use whether you win or lose. I'm serious. Do not tune out until you hear that announcement. It might have something to do with giving you another chance to win. I can't give anything else away yet. I don't want to get fired on my first day in the job. All right? Do you have any questions for me before I ask them to you? No? That's good because I can't hear you anyway. We are mere seconds away from getting started. Before we do, quick safety check. If you're driving, please pull over. If you're parenting, please put on Bluey. If you're performing surgery, please make sure the patient is stabilized. Now is a good time to close out all the other apps on your phone, throw on that do not disturb, and tell anyone who needs to hear it, don't bother me for the next 10 minutes. I'm playing Robinhood Trivia Live. All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's get this show on the road in 3, 2, 1, game start. Numero uno. This popular electric car company launched its first model in 2008 and has since grown to have a market cap of over $1.2 trillion. Lock those answers in. I told you we'd be starting off easy, so I do hope you got this one right. I even included a little hint for you in the question itself. The word model, did that help give it away? This company turned the auto industry upside down in 2008 with the introduction of the Roadster. Then came the Model S, the Model 3, the Model X, and the Model Y. And you know what that spells? Streaksy. Streaksy? I don't get it, but those who answered Tesla here at question 1, you got it right. Nice job with Tesla. We're moving on. Hop in that Roadster to Q2. Who is the current chair of the Federal Reserve? Ooh, numero right here. The current chair of the Federal Reserve. We're getting topical. You reserve the right to get this question right. I hope you do. Look, not a lot of jokes here. We're talking about federal chairs. It's not the most exciting stuff, but if you have been paying attention to financial news over the last 7 years, then you know the chair of the Federal Reserve is a classic rock fan with a law degree. No, not Jerry Springer, RIP. It's a different Jerry, Jerome Powell, the current chair of the Federal Reserve, and the answer here at Q2. Okay, speaking of chairs, I hope you're sitting down for this next question, because here it comes. Fast and Furious, Q3. Which of the following tickers does not represent a company that is part of the S&P 500 index? Which of these is not? 2 of them are, 1 of them is not. Now, when I was in college, I used to study with index cards. You know, index cards, flashcards. Maybe what I should have been doing instead is studying market indices. If I did that, I could have studied companies like DIS, Disney, and SYK, Stryker Corporation. One thing I would not have been studying is SPS, because that is not the ticker of a company in the S&P index, the Standard & Poor. And that was the question. I asked which one was not, and that's the answer. SPS does stand for Smart People Showdown, and that's what we have happening right here on Robinhood Trivia Live. So we are ticking ahead to Q4. What is the trading term HODL commonly understood to mean? All you traders out there, are you hodling? I believe you can get this one. I really do. I'm gonna hold on to the answer here. The origin story of this term is quite interesting. It dates back to a post made in December 2013 in a Bitcoin forum. At the time, a lot of volatility for this lesser known cryptocurrency at the time. The price had surged to over $950, up from just over $130 in April the same year. And in the midst of all that frothiness and those fantastic gains, the poster hurriedly typed his encouragement to others in the forum not to sell and said that he was hodling. He meant to say holding, but the typo HODL has since taken off a life of its own as a backronym. Hold on for dear life. Holding on to what's golden. You holding on to this question, this quiz? We're getting close to the halfway point. Stay golden, pony boy, at Q5. What is the IRS 2025 annual contribution limit for an IRA for Americans under 50 years old? IRS, IRA, a lot of acronyms in today's quiz. Now this one takes me back to my 20s when my dad tried to give me financial advice. Advice I should have listened to, frankly. If I did, I would have known that every year I could have been contributing to my individual retirement account, otherwise known as an IRA. But there is a limit to the yearly contribution, and that limit is the answer to this question. $7,000. $7K. Taking it away. How many of you got that one right? Oh, I see. A lot of you did. Okay. We're still in this to win this thing. We're going to take it to the limit here at question 6. Which of these companies was the first to be included in the Dow Jones Industrial Average? The very first. It's going Dow. I'm yelling timber. I went the first 39 years of my life not knowing what the Dow Jones Industrial Average was. And I turned 40 yesterday. Did you know the Dow is a stock market index of 30 prominent companies listed on the US Stock Exchange? It's true. They include corporate behemoths like Apple, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, and a few other things you can't eat or drink. But the very first to make the cut way back in 1896 and recently removed in 2018 was GE, aka General Electric. General Electrico, I think. I'm working on my Spanish. You got that one right? Halfway point. Here we go. We're getting those averages up now for Q7. How much must a stock be worth per share to be considered a penny stock today? So a little bit of a trick here. Is it tricky? It's a little tricky because a penny stock today isn't what it was yesterday or many days ago. This feels like a trick question. Shouldn't a penny stock be worth a penny? If you thought that, my friend, you didn't take into account a little something called inflation. A penny is not a penny anymore. No. According to the SEC, the current definition of a penny stock is a stock that trades for less than $5 per share. Makes you think, why don't they call it a 499 penny stock, right? And what happens to penny stocks once the government stops minting pennies? They keep saying they're going to do that. So many questions, so little time. Let's get to the next one, shall we? Q8. What is the maximum supply of Bitcoin that will ever exist? Oh. Now, when Satoshi Nakamoto proposed their plan for Bitcoin in 2008, they built in a hard cap for the lifetime supply at a specific number to create digital scarcity. And so, unlike fiat currencies, it couldn't be devalued by just printing more. Oh, smart. But why did Satoshi choose that specific number? Great question. Nobody knows for sure, at least I don't. But what if that number is a clue to his or her or their identity? Now, if you take my full name, for example, Scott Nakamoto Rogowski, it has exactly 21 letters. And the maximum supply of Bitcoin happens to be 21 million. Coincidence? Who knows? I'd love to tell you more, but unfortunately we're out of time, and I really do need to move on to the next question. Q9. Which index is heavily weighted toward technology stocks and includes companies like Apple, Amazon, and Netflix? When I was a kid, Pluto was a planet, and FANG was the acronym for the biggest American tech companies of the time. We're talking Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. But then Mark Zuckerberg had to start wearing gold chains and start e-foiling. And he got the idea that the metaverse was going to be a thing to such a degree that he changed his company's name. Think about all the stationery they had to switch out from Facebook to Meta. And not to mention FANG became MANG, but the index remained the same. You'll find those companies listed on the NASDAQ Composite. Oh, boy, Oberto. NASDAQ for the win at Q9. As we sink our fangs into the next question, just a few left. Here we go, Q10. Which US company became the first to reach a $1 trillion market cap? The first to reach 1 trillion. Now I gotta shout out my Uncle Alan here, who since the 1980s has repped this company hard. He's the reason why my first computer was a Macintosh and why the Rogowski family received a magazine called Macworld in the mail every month. I only wish he had bought me some stock in this company when we had the chance to grab it at the equivalent of 37 cents a share. Alas, he died in 2013, so he never got to see his beloved company reach $1 trillion in market cap, which happened on August 2nd, 2018. I love you, Uncle Al, and I love all of you who answered A for Apple, A for Alan, and A for Apple. Coincidence? Another mystery. Let's take a red delicious bite out of Q11, the penultimate question. Here we go. What year was Dogecoin created? Doge, D-O-G-E. There's no dodging this one. You got to get it right. And the next one, to win, you can't dodge it, you can't doge it. If you invested in Doge when it launched, your partner might have left you. Your neighbor might have reported you to the authorities. Even your dog might have chewed up your favorite shoes in protest. Because Dogecoin kind of started as a joke, let's be honest. It was the world's first meme coin, really. But a whole bunch of people very quickly started taking it seriously to the point where maybe your partner, your neighbor, even your dog would be apologizing to you today had you made that trade in 2013, which is when Dogecoin was created. Yeah, $1,000 in 2013, be a lot more. I'm not a math guy. Doge say I didn't warn you that these questions would get harder as we went on. If you're still hodling after all 11 questions I've just asked, you have one final one to get right. This is it. It all boils down to this. Are you ready? Q12, baby. What was the largest US IPO of 2024 by deal size? The largest US IPO of last year. Finally, a question I didn't know the answer to myself. Okay, I didn't know the Dogecoin question either, or questions 3 through 8, really. So I actually do need to take a moment to look up the answer to this one. Just give me a moment. Take a moment to reflect on your life and what brought you to this point today, okay? Okay, got it. Shares of common stock of this logistics company were initially offered to the public on July 25th, 2024, trading on the NASDAQ Global Select Market. The price per share was $78, which led to an IPO of $4.4 billion, the largest of the year. That's a lot of cold hard cash for a company that specializes in cold storage warehousing, a company called Lineage. Line, feeling fine. If you answered Lineage and you crossed the finish line, you've joined the winner's circle. That's the end of the quiz, folks. Put in the books, yes. Woo, time flies when you're focused. And way to focus. Those of you still standing here will be splitting the grand prize. Do you remember what it was? I told you earlier. Here it is again. $1 million worth of Bitcoin. 1 million USD in BTC. Now, I'm not sure how the maths, but congratulate yourself no matter what, because that's a nice chunk of digital change that you earned by either being really smart or being a really, really fast Googler. And thank yourself for sticking around like I told you to. You're a good listener and you're getting rewarded for it. The special announcement that I promised you is ready to be announced. And that specialness is you are getting another chance to dance with me on Robinhood Trivia Live. That's right. You're getting another chance to win with a special second day of Robinhood Trivia tomorrow, where everyone who plays is going to get a prize for playing the game to celebrate the start of an entire month of exciting stuff for Gold members. How will it work? To participate in tomorrow's game, you must be a Robinhood Gold member. If you are not a gold member, well, there's no time like the present to become one. Because with your gold membership, you're not only unlocking incredible offers, access, and bonuses, but you're also eligible to quiz with me one more time. You'll get the chance to subscribe to Gold right after this message. I'm going to repeat this because it's so exciting. Tomorrow, Gold members will get another chance to win $1 million in BTC. Yes, the prize is the same as it was today. Another $1 million is being given away tomorrow. And this time, everyone will win something just for showing up. Sign up for Gold if you are not a member, and we'll see you right back here mañana. Same app time, same app channel. That's 4:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1:45 p.m. for you late sleepers on Pacific. I'll be cooking up some more questions in the meantime, some bigger laughs. Maybe I'll have another special announcement and surprise guest. Who knows? Anything can happen here on Robinhood Trivia. If you're not a gold member, remember, you can sign up today. Okay? Whew. Thank you, everyone, for playing the first ever edition of Robinhood Trivia Live. It has been my absolute pleasure hosting you on the Robinhood app. Until I see you again, hopefully tomorrow, I am Quiz Daddy Scott Rogowski, signing off and reminding you, in the immortal words of a blue talking fish, just keep swimming. Bye-bye.